Are you struggling with your co-parent like it's going piss poor? Really frustrating. You try to make it work, you get no help. You try to smooth things over, it doesn't go well. You try to give information, it isn't well received. Not even an okay. If you are wondering about your co-parenting journey and why it sucks so bad, this episode is for you. Now, this episode was recorded when I was live on TikTok and I was also live in my support group. Those are two places you need to make sure you're following me because there is a ton of little tidbits on TikTok that I drop daily. And then in my support group, it's a great place to hang out, be a fly on the wall, absorb information, see other people's struggles, use the search bar, and really dive into some questions you might have that somebody else probably has already asked. So you will listen to this episode. I will tell you it is kind of 40 minutes. It's a little long. Might want to put some earbuds in, hit pause, come back to it. But I'm telling you, liquid gold information. People ask me all the time, Sam, how did you go from arguing and fighting for 8 years to getting along? What happened? What was the change? How did you make it happen? And I'm going to give that secret in this episode. So stay tuned. I had a mom call yesterday, and on the notes to me, it said, having trouble working with my co-parent. And instantly I was like, oh, sister, we're not co-parenting. If you're having this big of issues that you have to book a consult, basically what you are probably needing to do is switch gears and go over to parallel parenting. But I didn't say that at the beginning. I let her speak. So she was telling me some of the issues, and it was things from like phone situations, not getting phone calls, to different rules at different houses. He's coming by when he wants. He's not calling first. He's sometimes doing a holiday, sometimes not doing a holiday. And it was just all of these things that she's running around rampant trying to fix it all. She's trying to, okay, well, if you're late, then I'll hurry up and get them ready, or I'll make do while you're running late. And, hey, if you're not going to take the phone, then I'm going to go buy her a phone. So then she has a phone here. And she's constantly fixing. And she thinks she's crazy. She thinks that she is going nuts. But in this story, the mom is calling and she's saying this co-parenting is just impossible. It's not working. It's horrible. He's toxic. He's cruel. He's mean. What can I do to fix it? What can I do to fix it? What can I do to fix it? And I am just sitting there and I'm listening and I'm saying, holy cow, was that me for so long? That was me for so long. Like, if I do enough, he'll like me. If I'm nice enough, he'll start to like me. If I do this, I'll be on his good side. If I do this, he'll stop talking shit about me. If I do this, he'll stop telling my kids stupid shit. And all of this kept happening for 1 year and the second year. And there would be windows open of like, oh man, this is great co-parenting. And then quickly that window would shut. And then I would go back to kissing ass, as I call it now, and making sure I send pictures and I send notes and I send emails and I'm doing the calling and I'm making copies of the photo things and I'm, school pictures and I'm reminding and I'm double checking and I'm like, hey, let's sit together. Hey, let's do this. And I'm trying to make a shit situation into this kumbaya story. I am busting my ass. I am going every which direction. I am putting him in my kid's head when they aren't even wanting him in his head. And what I mean by that is, they would be at home and they would do something amazing around the house, tumble or, lose a tooth or something like that. And I would say, hey, let's send a picture to dad. Hey, let's send a video to dad. Hey, let's let dad know. And I would get crushed by the lack of response. But you know what I do? The next day I would do the same thing. And I'm trying to constantly win and fix this and make this the lifetime special of great co-parenting situations. And the reality is, and again, I've been consulting people for a while and I've been, helping people with their divorces and their post-divorce life. The reality is a good percentage of us don't have that fucking glory story. A good percentage of us don't have a willing co-parent that wants to bury the hatchet and just get along. A good percentage of us don't have somebody that has a level head and put the bitterness aside. A good percentage of us don't have somebody that can look past the financial support, child support, and still get along. A good percentage of us don't have somebody that wants to show up every day. A good percentage of us don't have somebody that wants to be friends with us and raise our kids together. A good percentage of us don't deal with someone that puts our kids first. That is a good percentage of us that are going through divorce. Now I'm way past divorce. I'm 15 years out, right? And my co-parent and I are in a respectful place. Are we friends? No. Do we follow each other on social media? Also no. Do we go to dinners together? No. Do we sit by each other at games? We used to. We don't anymore. Do we ride together? No. Do we take pictures together for our daughter? Yeah. At a social event, at a game? Absolutely. I force that because I know she will want those when she's older. It's not comfortable probably for both of us, but we do it. Have we done family pictures in the past together? Yes. We have gone through ebbs and flows. And the reason there's ebbs and flows is a multitude of reasons, and that's what I want to kind of get into today. I want to get into the idea that we, the fixer, the one that wants it to be easy, the one that wants the co-parenting to work, the one that wants it to just be smooth sailing, we keep putting our own expectation of what co-parenting is supposed to be like on somebody that hates our guts. Let me say that again. We are wanting this ideal, sit by each other, be respectful, send little texts to inform each other of little, things that happen throughout the day, be cordial, be respectful, offer to help, take the help, say thank you, say please, throw a couple extra dollars on something. We want that. We are vomiting that's what we want onto someone that hates our guts. And so then there we sit with this, but I'm being nice and he's being an ass. I'm being respectful and he's being a douche. I'm going over the top and he can't even answer a phone call. And I'm here to tell you, that is fucking normal. It's normal. You're not crazy. You're not psychopathic. You're just, it's normal. It is a normal situation. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's fair. No. But I'm here to tell you, being in a divorce and post-divorce life, you're always going to have one parent that is the motherboard that runs everything, that is the organizer, that is the go-getter, that is the planner, that is the think-ahead person, that is the double-checker, that is the informant, that is the, hey, I'm going to touch base with all the teachers and let you know. You're always going to have that one. And when we put all that time and energy being that one, and all we get back is, okay, or nothing, oh my God. What you need to realize about yourself is a couple things. Number one, you don't have to do all that. Number two, you need words of affirmation to feel good about what you're doing. You needed him to say thank you. You needed him to say, oh my gosh, I appreciate you doing all that for our family still. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. Now, a lot of you will say this. You'll say, I'm doing it for the kids. If I don't do it, it won't get done. And I'm here to ask you, okay, and then what? So what it doesn't get done? So what if it doesn't get done? So what if your daughter doesn't have the green socks for her green softball uniform? So what if she has to wear last year's shoes? So what if you miss school pictures? So fucking what? Why are you burdening yourself? And again, I'm yelling because it was me for 8 years. 8 years I did this. 8 years I put myself in this exact same spot. 8 years of constantly being the over-the-top fixer, achiever, making everything work, make it look like it's working, make it feel like it's working, when really it was a shit sandwich. Because I didn't want a ball to drop. I didn't want my kids to go without. I didn't want to have them see a loophole. I didn't want to have them see negativity. I didn't want them to see, oh my gosh. But I look at it now of like, not my job. It's not my job to go fix that for him. It's not my job to remind him. It's not my job to keep him in the loop. It's not my job to go out of my way to buy two and give him one. Like, that's not my job. My job when I divorced was to take care of my household and my children. And again, I'm talking to the masses of people that don't have the kumbaya story where we're doing brunch on Sundays still together and we're doing family pictures. I'm talking about the mass majority of people that it's fuck you season most of the time. That's who I'm talking to. So don't come at me with this whole we still get along. Congratulations, go buy fucking 25 lottery tickets. You will probably win 23 of them. I'm talking people that deal with shit sandwiches every day. I'm talking about the people that wake up dreading the sound of their text message, dreading the knock at the door, hating exchanges, just cringing at the idea of exchanges over holidays. I'm talking to those people. I'm talking to those people that get put on red for 3 days. I'm talking to those people that have a parenting app because they can't even fucking get along. I'm talking to those people. It doesn't get better until... It does, but it doesn't get better until you fix yourself. Now hold on, don't leave, don't skip over this yet. I want to give you some details of what this really means. I want you to understand that you have to take care of yourself first. See, if I were to rewind and I were to go back and think, Sam, why were you seeking such validation from a man that treated you so shitty in a marriage? Now, to say that out loud, I would go, holy fuck, that sounds ridiculous now. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? And now I can look at it and I know the answer. I know the answer. It comes from a whole bunch of stuff that I learned in therapy, which I'm not going to get into, but I will tell you this. I was seeking a male voice of positivity, but I was addicted to the negativity. I was addicted to the criticism. I was addicted to a male telling me, do better, do this, do this, do this. I was addicted. That was my childhood, right? Like the little critiques. I could have my mom praising me 5,000 times, but if my dad said one negative thing about my game, I clung on to that comment. That was my whole childhood. It was me. It wasn't my dad. Yeah, he probably did praise me, but that one thing that he said, hey, you should have shot more. Hey, you should have passed up the ball. Hey, you should have rebounded better. I would hold on to that negative comment and be like, okay, next time I got to fix it. Next time I got to do better. And so that for me was an eye-opener in my therapy to realize when my ex-husband would pick at me, I would try my hardest to fix it. I would zero in on that negative comment and try my hardest to fix it, and I gave that one negative comment so much credit. When in reality, if I look back to my childhood, my dad was praising me left and right, but he would also just say, next time work on this. And I would hone into the negative instead of all the positive. So when my co-parenting journey started and my post-divorce life started, I would hone into all the small things that were going wrong. He didn't respond back. He only said okay. He didn't say thank you. He's talking shit about me, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't looking at the big picture that I had a house. I was going to work. I was paying my bills. My kids were thriving. I was happy. I wasn't with it. Like, I was missing all of the great things that were going on. So the first thing I would do is I would say, figure out why you have so much value coming from somebody that hates your guts. Why are you giving them so much value? Why, when he says 1, 2, or even 3 things to you, do you let it eternally tear you apart? Why? For me, it was this. He could say, your mom's fat. Didn't bother me. Your mom drinks too much. Didn't bother me. But if he said, your mom is a bad mom, oh, motherfucker, we're taking gloves off and we are fighting. And I don't know why the mom comments would get me until I unfolded it and I realized I didn't have confidence in my own mothering. So when someone pointed it out, I felt criticized and it was factual. I was never been a single parent. Hell, I'd never been a parent, right? And then I got divorced when my kids were 1 and 3. So I'm learning how to parent along with single parent, along with trying to co-parent. And it was just like too much. It was too much. I was losing my shit all the time of like, am I enough? Am I doing enough? Is this what you're supposed to do? Shit, she's teething. Oh my God, we got a potty train. I was dealing with all the parenting shit along with all the co-parenting shit at the same time. And so when I would get picked apart, I'm like, am I doing it right? I don't know. And again, I would let his voice be louder than my own. And I had to work on myself. So going back to the consult that I had yesterday, when she said, hey, my co-parenting journey is not going well. Here are some things that I told her. Number one, connect with your children. Connect with your children deeply. I don't care how old they are. They're showing love languages left and right. I have a 2-year-old that can't take his hands off me. The kid loves physical touch. He's hugging on me, kissing on me 80 times a day. I have another kid that says, watch me, watch me, watch me, watch me. He wants me to praise him for the things he's doing. My kids have love languages at the ages of 2 and 4 already. My teenagers have love languages. One is money and one is words of affirmation. And if you don't know what love languages are, go look them up. The 5 love languages. You have to know your kids left and right. And they'll be seasonal. Your kids will change their love languages just like you do. Here's the other part of this, and I'm going to connect it to co-parenting here in a second. You have to see how your kids are showing love languages. How are they coming to you and saying, I love you? Again, what are they doing? Now, it could be physical touch. They're asking for hugs. It could be, hey, come watch me. I need you. I want to show you something. Look what you've taught me, and now I'm practicing it. It could be they buy you a little pop when they go out. It could be my daughter cleans my house. She knows that makes me happy, but that's how she shows love too. So I appreciate that. Know your kids forwards and backwards, and let your kids know what yours are. Your bond with your children is the foundation of great co-parenting. Why? Because when somebody tries to get in your head, they can't fuck with that, because you know your bond with your children is so great that it's lies and bullshit. It's lies, false, not true, no way, not fucking happening. I know my kids, they know me. We are thriving together in our house, and it's unbreakable, it's untouchable. I have people tell me all this, Sam, I'm scared to lose my kids. You are not going to lose your kids if your kids and you are connected and you love each other and you have a strong base. If you're constantly on your phone and not paying attention to your children, and you're constantly worried about your ex-husband and what he's doing, and you're not playing with your kids, it's real easy to disconnect from your children. It's real easy. Put your phone down, connect with your kids, and know your kids like the back of your fucking hand, and they know you. My son knows me so well. My 17-year-old graduated senior knows me so well. He can catch a mood like this, and he has the heating pad ready. He's got the chocolate ready. He's got the, hey, mom, let me brush your hair. He knows what's going on because we are in tune with each other, because he was my baby growing up, right? He was my boy as through this whole divorce. I got to know my kids really well. So when somebody started to get in my ear, you're a shit parent. No, because I know my kids really well. My kids are not the same. They were completely different growing up. They needed different things. They behaved differently. So when it comes to working with your co-parent, the first step is get your house in order. Know your children backwards, forwards, what their needs are, what their wants are, what's their favorite color, what's their favorite food, what kind of things do they enjoy watching, who are they, what do they laugh at, what do they cry about, what are they scared of. Know your fucking kids. The other thing is to know yourself. Where are your weaknesses? Where are your strong suits? What are your triggers? What are you trying to overcome? Get yourself figured out. All the time people say, I'm just so upset he left me for her. I'm just, oh my gosh, I can't stand looking at her, the mistress, and now she's around my kids. And all I hear is low confidence that you haven't fixed yourself, that you're so worried about what's happening outside of your own home. You have to figure out what is going on in yourself of why that's tearing you apart. Is it heartbreaking? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's bone crushing. But at some point, you have kids that you still need to finish fucking raising. And this whole pity party of, oh, woe is me, I got cheated on, and now the mistress is with my kids. You better be working on that bond with your kids, because I know Steve over here is going to be making new mommy have a bigger role than what she should, trying to push your ass out. And if your bond with your kids isn't strong, that might be a possibility, which is on your worry list. But you're worried about it too much instead of spending time with your fucking kids. Play with your kids. Know your kids. Be with them. Know yourself. This is a trigger for me. I'm going to block her. I don't want to hear about her. I'm going to tell my friends and family. I can't. You got to figure out what's filling your bucket. What makes you happy? And if you don't know that, and for some of us that are a busy single mom, even knowing that is impossible sometimes. I don't even know. What does make me happy? This makes me happy. Working with people, talking with people, sharing my struggles to make other people's lives better. This makes me, my bucket is so full. Over the holiday weekend, I struggled because I wasn't working. I was around my family, which is great. And I'm a truth teller. So if you can't understand, if this hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. I am one that needs to work to be happy. My kids are great. I love them, but I can only take them for so long, and I need to fill my bucket. Being a mom does not fill my bucket. Fills it a little bit, but not the way this does. Not the way my job does. Not the way words of affirmation from another adult does. It doesn't. And I'm okay with that. I wasn't put just on this earth to be a mom. I was put on this earth to obviously provide a service to people. And that fills my bucket. So I was fiending yesterday. Kids are going to daycare tomorrow. I get to work. It makes me happy. It made me amazing mom this morning. Got them up, loved on them, fed them breakfast, kissed them, and out the door they went. I wasn't a shit parent to them because I enjoyed the fact that they were going to daycare so I could fill my bucket. And when I'm done working and I turn it off, I get to go back to filling their buckets because mine's already full. Mine is so full when I get done with my work day because it makes me so happy that then it's overflowing and it makes them full. And I can now take care of them. In the past, when my life was shit, going through this divorce of 8 years, I would have moments where my bucket was so fucking dry that my kids' buckets were dry. I wasn't taking care of them the way I should have because I was like, oh, my divorce is so expensive. It's taking forever. Like all these things, my ex-husband's a dick, blah, blah, blah. I had this huge sob story that I was creating. I was at a job that I fucking couldn't stand. And I hated my life. I did. And when I got with my unicorn, and I call him my unicorn because he had no kids, he had no crazy ex-wives, and he didn't have any debt. I mean, that to me is a fucking unicorn. And he wanted more kids. And so he said, why are you going to a job that you hate every single day? You love helping people with divorce and co-parenting. Go do that. And I was like, boy, you're crazy. Like, there is no health insurance. I was thinking of all the negatives. Took the leap, took the jump, never looked back, and it's the best decision I've ever made. I am so happy. And then our relationship is great because my bucket is full. When your bucket is full, you don't get bothered by the petty bullshit from the ex-husband. I promise you that. You look and you laugh. You look at the bullshit coming at you and you go, like, seriously? Like 5 years ago, that would have bothered me. Today, I'm like, pew, see ya. It's all about yourself. When you are getting triggered by a neighbor that you can't stand, it's because you've had a shit day and that's just icing on the fucking cake. Can you believe they did that? You have to get yourself in order. So first step is get the relationship with your kids in order. The second step is get yourself in order. The third step is put your own boundaries up. Too many people say, he won't stop calling. He won't stop texting. No shit. Because you keep fucking answering and you keep replying. That's why. Like, you keep engaging, so he keeps engaging. All the time I have people say, well, he's doing this and he's doing this and he's doing this. What the fuck are you doing? How are you training him? If your kid kept walking over to the stove and touching the stove when it was on, would you go, he keeps doing it, he keeps doing it, he keeps doing it? Or would you walk over and you'd say, don't do that anymore, don't do that anymore, don't do that anymore? But he kept touching it, right? Your child would keep touching it. Your child would keep touching it until you put a barrier up or you took the burners off. You physically did something. Because this talk, I don't know about your kids, but shit, I can talk till I'm blue in the face to my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old until I physically remove them or I physically put a barrier up or I physically remove them from the room and I take them. They're not going to stop because they're 2 and 4. Sometimes our co-parent that we're dealing with is that immature as well. That's sad truth. That's reality. That's what most of us are dealing with is immaturity. And overly confident to where they think their shit doesn't stink, so they act out. So when you have a barrier or a boundary that you need to put up, it's not on the ex. It's not on your co-parent. It's on yourself. If he calls after 9 o'clock, I am not answering. If he texts me 3 times in a row, I am not answering for 30 minutes. You have to put a boundary up for yourself. I put a text out or a post out this week that says just because he texts you doesn't mean you have to respond right away. I mean, I can, to this day, remember every time I heard the text message come across from my ex-husband, he got a reply back in 2.3 seconds, and I was like, damn it, I should have replied back faster. Why? Did I get a fucking sugar cookie for that? Hell no. I got nothing. And most of the time, my quick response got me in trouble because I didn't stop and pause, which is a technique I teach, to really calculate the answer that I needed to give. Instead, it would be this quick response, and it was the wrong response, or it was too much information, or it was an overshare. I'm a big overshare, obviously. So, I need you to get your kids in order. I need you to get yourself in order. And then I need you to figure out what boundaries do you need to put into your life. Not responding, not walking outside. Yesterday, this mom said, but Sam, every time he pulls in the driveway, my 2-year-old gets triggered and wants to go with him when it's really just my teenager's turn. And she said, what can I make him do? I said, nothing. This is on you. This is your fault. She said, well, my fault? What do you mean it's my fault? I said, you're allowing a 2-year-old to go to the window to see their dad. You're triggering your 2-year-old. You are triggering your 2-year-old. You need to have a conversation with that teenager that says, get your shit. I'm saying goodbye to you 10, 15 minutes early. And adios, see you later. Sneak out, please. Be quiet and leave. And you need to distract that 2-year-old. He comes at the same time every time you know he's coming. Get Play-Doh out. Get some paints out. Get that kid in the back of the house distracted. Have him go into the bathroom with you. Something to distract that child so he isn't triggered and traumatized every time dad pulls in the driveway to get the teenager. This is a planned, scheduled event. Plan and schedule something with the 2-year-old not to trigger him. This is on you. So sometimes, in my support group, I have people post text messages, post situations, and a lot of times I think I do a really good job of knowing what the perspective is of the other parent. Why? Because I've done this a long time. Number 2, I've seen my ex-husband act out and do things for 15 years. And I have a really good man at home that tells me a guy's perspective most of the time. He's really open and honest. Like, nope, our head isn't going there. It's going here. Nope, this is what we meant. We didn't say that, but this is what I mean. So I have a lot of good perspective, and I have a lot of male clients. And I think what we have to do as the fixer at home is stop thinking that all of a sudden it's just going to be perfect. It's not. If you're in a support group or you're out seeking help on TikTok for co-parenting, you need to start looking up parallel parenting. Because you're not co-parenting. If it's that shitty, it's not co-parenting. You can wish it all day long. It's not fucking happening. So stop waiting on it to happen. Stop forcing it to happen. Stop putting stop putting mom's expectations on dad when dad doesn't want that type of relationship. My ex-husband doesn't want to be my friend. That's okay. My ex-husband doesn't want to sit next to me at games. That's okay. I'm not going to go sit by him just because that's what I want to do when it makes him feel uncomfortable. You have to ask yourself, what am I doing? Some ugly fucking answers here. What am I doing to enable this shitty relationship? Is it because I'm trying too hard? And that's the answer for some of you. I'm trying too fucking hard. If this was anybody else, you would never tolerate this bullshit. But because it's your baby daddy, it's your kid's dad, you're like, I have to make it work. I have to make it work. This has to go good. This has to be... No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This is your kid's real life story. They have divorced parents. Not every kid gets the fucking glory story of 2 respectful parents. Can you still be the respectful parent? Sure. Can you be the parent that doesn't talk shit? Absolutely. Can you be the parent that still sends a picture every once in a while? Of course. Can you be the parent that says, hello, how's work? How's it going? Good. And shows confidence at an exchange? Absolutely. What does that show your kid? That the other one does nothing. That the other one doesn't speak at exchanges. The other one isn't respectful. The other one doesn't show pictures. Do you have to say those things? No, your kid will figure it out real quick. But a lot of you are wanting your kids to figure it out at the age of 4, 6. I'm here to tell you, they won't figure it out till after puberty for most of them, unless there's some severe things going on. So all the little shit that's bothering you doesn't bother a 4-year-old. Doesn't bother a 6-year-old. It will start to bother a teenager. It will. Especially if your house is in order, your love languages are connected, you know each other really well, you've got your shit figured out, you're confident, you got your triggers, you know how to manipulate yourself into not getting triggered, you can cope and deal with everything, and then you have such strong boundaries that you're good. When you do get triggered, you're like, no, good try though, sucker, you ain't getting in. So for example, this woman yesterday, as we were talking, I said, it really got to her when I said, what are you teaching your kids? To go, 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 do, be nice, be nice, be nice, get treated like shit, but go, 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 do, be nice, be nice, be nice, get treated like shit. You're teaching your kids that. All you have to show is you love your kids, non-fucking stop and play with them. Show them that you are the confident badass that you want to be. Show them that confidence and show them you have boundaries. This is a co-parenting relationship, which is probably more like parallel parenting, where you are just business partners. You're not going to bash on a business partner. You're not going to talk trash on a business partner, but you're also not inviting a business partner over for like tea and crumpets. You're just like, hey, have a good day. Have a good weekend. See you later. You're not overly trying. And for a lot of us, we're overextending. We're over trying. We are way over trying. And it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Because you're going to have about, 8 years worth of like, that was a lot of time and energy lost. For what? Nothing. I will tell you, people ask me all the time, how did you go from 8 years in and out of court, spending a house on lawyer fees, to getting along? And the only answer I can give you is I changed. He hasn't changed in 15 years. I changed. I became more confident. I gave less fucks. And I got really in tune with my kids. There is nothing that can get between my kids and I. Nothing. I don't care if he marries money and travels them around the world and she is beautiful and she is amazing. Ain't nobody going to connect with my kids the way I do. I have that confidence. So when they come at you with their comments and you get triggered, I'm going to ask you, is there any accuracy to the comment that you're feeling on yourself? Because if somebody were to tell me, Sam, you are a horrible mediator. Okay, in your opinion. I have so much confidence behind my parenting plans and my mediation services. You're just a disgruntled employee because you didn't like the outcome. Maybe you realized that you didn't get as much as what you wanted in mediation. I don't know. But nobody can come for me like that. I have attorneys come for me all the time. All the time my inbox is flooded from attorneys threatening me because I'm educating people. I'm getting people in tune with what should be in a great parenting plan. But you can't come for me. I don't care what your opinion is, attorney. I know I'm doing a service that a lot of fucking parents should have had. It should be part of the system, but it's not. But if somebody were to say you're a shit mom, I'd laugh at that at this point. No, you have no idea. No idea how well I know my kids and how connected we are. But 10 years ago, that comment would have crushed me. Would have crushed me because I gave so much value to external people's opinions. So, to wrap up, and then I'm going to open it up to questions. I want you to ask yourself, what do I need to do to connect with my kids more? What's their love languages? What are they showing me? What do they need? What can I give them? What is the love connection story between me and each individual kid? Do not treat all of your kids the same because they are not the same. I have 4 kids, they're all 4 different. And they're all different ages. Figure out love languages. Figure out how they're showing and respect it. You know, it might not be the love language you want. Let's say you're a physical touch person. You want hugs, you want hugs, you want hugs. If I go and ask my kid for a hug and he's like, oh, mom. Oh, okay, yeah, you can hug my shoulder. Okay, I got what I wanted, but he still doesn't have his love language. His is still unfulfilled. But I got mine, but does he have his? So get your love languages figured out. Figure out your own. What are your triggers? What are your weaknesses? How can you cope with those? How can you get more confidence? And I'm telling you, the confidence comes with taking care of yourself, getting some mental help, whether that be just meditation or therapy or reading books or getting in a support system, being in our support group, venting, talking about things, picking up a new hobby, finding a new job, buying new clothes. Get something, some kind of confidence builder back into your life. And then the last one, what are your boundaries that not only with your ex, but maybe with your friends and family that you need to start enforcing? Nope, I am not answering the phone. Nope, I'm not responding back. Nope, you are not coming in my house. Nope, I am not going to that event. Nope, I am not sending a bag every time this for the weekends. No, I am not answering all of these stupid, ridiculous questions that you should know the answer to. You have to sometimes be the bad guy to get the result you want. The last thing, and I know I said that once, but the last thing is this. She said to me, because she's a rule follower, she's a teacher, she's a rule follower, she said, Sam, I'm just worried about it looking bad in court. And if I had $1 for every time I've heard that, I would not have to work for the rest of my life. People are so worried about not responding to a text message is going to look bad. Not sending a picture is going to look bad. Not, inviting them to something that they had access to anyways is bad. Do what you're required to do, and that's it. Because again, most of us are dealing with a bitter, hateful co-parent that we're not co-parenting with. We need to be parallel parenting. Parallel parenting meaning I do my house, you do yours. We don't mix. We don't mix. We're respectful at exchanges, and that's it. So, I threw a lot out there in this little skit here. I want you to reach out if you have questions. I want you to get in the support group. I want you to take the time to educate yourself and prepare yourself, because you wanted married, but then you got divorced, right? There was no like, hey, I need to take a class first before I start this process because I have no idea. In reality, I do have a class for that. It's called the pre-divorce class. Before you say I want a divorce, you better take the fucking class. And then once you start the class, the next one is, what should go in my parenting plan? Take that class. Because even if you don't work with your co-parent on your parenting plan, you need to know what needs to be in there. Coming from somebody that had 4 fucking pages, that's it. Got divorced when they were 1 and 3. It was written for a 1 and 3-year-old. It wasn't written for teenagers busy in sports that needed cars. Nope, really wasn't. Wasn't at all. You have to educate yourself. If you wanted to learn how to take photos for a living, you wouldn't just buy the camera and start taking pictures. You'd take a class. You'd go practice. You'd go experiment. You don't get to practice with fucking divorce. Believe me, I tried for 8 years. I feel like we were practicing for a long time. You have to get into it. But before you get into it, educate yourself. What's going to happen? What could happen? Prepare for the worst. Get ready. Is it going to be a battle? I don't know. But going into it blind, ridiculous. I say this all the time. I took weeks to tell my ex-husband I wanted a divorce. I was so worried about those words. I want a divorce. 4 words took me like 6 weeks to say. But as soon as I said them, all hell broke loose, and I was unprepared. I didn't know what was going to happen as soon as I said those words. I had no idea. I thought we'd get along. Yeah, that blew up really fast. So prepare yourself, educate yourself, find somebody like me. I'm a dime a dozen. There's plenty of mediators out there. There's plenty of people out there that do what I do. Do I think I'm the best? Fucking yes, I do. Why? Because I have confidence. I live this shit. I've been on both sides of the table. I've been on both sides of good, bad, and ugly. And I'm in it because I got wronged. And I don't think anybody should have to go through this process not knowing stuff that they should know. I feel like some attorneys don't keep you informed so that they have the upper hand of like they know everything. Share the knowledge, man. I'm paying you a shit ton of money to hold your services. Share the knowledge with me. I ended with a really great attorney that did keep me informed and educated me on a lot. And I even had a divorce mediator walk up to me and say, Sam, you should do this for a living. You can see things that other people can't see. You can see into the future and see what you should be planning for people. You help people see the problem they're going to have based on their personalities. I have this ability to be able to read people and say, oh, I can tell this is going to be a problem for you. You need to get ahead of it. And I'm telling you, if I could have got ahead when my kids were 1 and 3, I wouldn't have been in and out of court for 8 fucking years. 292 court entries. I wouldn't have that because we would have had a plan, but we didn't. And now I want to help people. I want to help people have a better plan. I want people to know what is in a divorce. What happens to your kids? What is a parenting plan? What happens when we disagree? What happens for the 4th of July? How many vacations do I get? Well, who's taking over the medical costs? I want you guys to know these things because I had no clue. I had no clue. I thought it was visitation and holidays. I honestly, hand to God, it's almost embarrassing saying that. I thought it was holidays and visitation schedule, and that was it. I had no idea all this other shit was involved. So do your education, get yourself prepared, get in the support group, book a consult, take advantage of my website. There's tons of shit on there that you can purchase, you can take, you can do. But do the thing of making sure you have your house in order. Got your kids in order, you got yourself in order, and you have boundaries. If you're still having co-parenting issues after those 3 things, message me. Message me if it still bothers you with what he does and what he says. If you have those 3 things done, message me. But I guarantee once you have your kids and you connected, once you have yourself taken care of, and once you have boundaries in place, you're going to laugh at a lot of shit that happened to you in the past. You're going to look back and go, wow, I really let that bother me in the past. But if you don't have those 3 things in order, it is going to bother you.